Hey, everybody, stop working. It's time for a lunch break. Proudly brought to you by Groove Fishing, changing the way you do tackle. Sunline, the best fishing line on the planet. And Spro, makers of the finest tackle available. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the lunch break here at the Live Well, Tuesday, January 27th. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. If you're at work, I hope you're inside and staying warm. My gosh, it's cold out there. You guys also, I see in the comment section, let me know. Let me know how the mic sounds. That's why I got the headgear on a little bit today because I unplugged to move some stuff around and I forgot to set it up right before the show started. So I think everything's good, but appreciate you guys joining us. Got a lot to talk about. I miss you guys. I started to do one this weekend. I was going to actually do a lunch break yesterday and had a little bit of an emergency pop up. And so I had to run down to Atlanta. And so I wasn't able to get with you guys, but definitely miss it when I haven't been on for a few days. I can tell. I actually can tell a difference. We got a great Mike sounds good. Thank you. We got a fantastic show for you guys tonight on the live well. John Cox of the MPFL is going to be on, and Clay from Marine South will be on. Now, yeah, my truck still has ice on it as well. Work from home Monday. Holiday season continues. Yeah, like I work from home every day. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do anything over the past couple of days. Yesterday when I went to Atlanta was the first day that I left the house, and I'm trying to find myself on TikTok so I can get my TikTok buddies. Make sure I get their comment section as well. But anyway, guys, hey, listen, join us tonight though, because I really honestly think it's going to be a really cool show. John's got a hell of a story. Um, Went through a kidney transplant and he's battling back to be a competitive angler and everything. A lot for you guys to take in. It's going to be a lot for me to take in, and I'm looking forward to it. This is one of the guests that Tony Collum, he knows him, and he brought him into the fold tonight and said, "Hey, we need to get this guy on." And so that's what we're going to do. And I think it's going to be really cool. Plus, like as always, I'm going to pick his brain. We're going to figure out some ways to catch fish, right? Yeah, it is frozen. Now listen, it's cold as hell out there, boys. I mean, seriously. But I noticed a lot of you guys went and actually fished. You fished this weekend. Now, Saturday, again, there was some clubs. My club personally, I had a tournament. It got canceled. I understand why it got canceled. A lot of people thought, the storm was going to come in a lot earlier than what it did. Some people waited a little bit later to make the decision, and they got to fish. I do know that the electric only tournament, I think it's the electric series. I think that's the name of it. They went out of down there around Bald Ridge or something like that, Little Ridge, somewhere down there on the south side of Lanier. They had a tough day for the normal weights that what we've come to expect uh, from Lake Lanier. Yeah, I don't like ice fishing either. What's up, Doc Holiday? Nathan and everybody. Gonna be cold this weekend too. I just made a post. I just shared on the Fish North Georgia group page. I do follow Glenn Burns. If you guys remember him, he was Channel Two Action News for a long time, and I do follow him. And he put out a post saying or showing what the temps were going to be this coming up Saturday. It's going to be like in the 20s in Orlando. So if we're in the 20s in Orlando, imagine what it's going to be up here. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be a little bit different. Going to be a little bit cold, and I don't know. You have some alternatives. The Fish Hawks having a fly fishing show. If you're into that down there, Saturday, Sunday down there at their place. But now I do know that they're going to have tents outside because it's not a huge place for an expo, but they're going to have heaters and everything, so they're going to run with it. And so we will. We'll see. I might end up going down there if I don't go to the water, but I need to get on the water. Clint, you should go to the secret lake. It's going to be like 5 degrees up there. John G, he'll be listening tonight while he's driving to Ohio. Yeah, I saw that. You had to go out there and pick up some animals. Um, Eric says, I'm strongly considering hooking the boat and going to Okeechobee, but it will be too cold there as well. So anyway, hopefully those messages you can't hear. My son just took he took my grandson to the doctor, and it looks to be he is going to be 10 pounds now. So there we go, 2-week appointment. He is growing. So yeah, again, I hope you guys. If it's my family group text, They're probably gonna be going crazy here in a second, dinging each other, so hopefully you guys can't hear it. I'm getting ready to tell them to stop. Watch this right there. Coming through on the show. See if they stop it. Anyway, I need to get to Harvard. What's up, Tracy Coker? Now, let me ask you something. What did you guys do this weekend? What did you guys do? Anyway, it's going to ding for a while. Sorry, guys. Can you guys hear that? I'm just out of curiosity because I hear it in my headphones. Ron's got to go to a county commission tonight. Hopefully, he'll be back in time. I hope you will too. But what did you guys do this weekend? Did you prepare? I mean, did you go out and get you a generator if you didn't have it? You guys, a lot of you guys text me and asked me if I got my generator running. I did, and then I went and got. I had like 16, I think five. I had 17 and a half gallons of gas ready to go. All right, 17 and a half gallons of gas ready to go. Miss Amanda took absolutely great care of me. She actually prepped a bunch of foods to eat just in case the power went out and stuff, things that you could eat. So we were ready, right? We were ready Friday night. And of course, it didn't come. But guys, I bet I have eaten. We can't hear it. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Sounds fine. I just want to know if all the dinging was coming through. I did. I sat on my ass too. Now, Clint, I know you're out there in the comment section, and I'm sorry. But I probably ate 28,000 calories worth of food over the last 4 days because I had nothing to do. I decided I was going to take, I actually put the computer down. I put out, I had a scheduled post or two, but I kind of pretty much put the computer down and just sat back and said, you know what? I'm going to watch some football on Sunday. I'm just going to kind of find something to watch, maybe catch up on some sleep, do a lot of lazy ass things. And I sure did. I just curious as to what you guys do. We were prepared, but like I said, Miss Amanda was ready for everything. Um, Now we're prepared for the next one. Yeah, they're talking about possibly some snow this weekend. Eric said we were very prepared. Let's see. Ron, that's what I wanted to read. Ron tied up some jigs. We didn't get anything but rain in Rome, but it was still cold. I'd almost, and it wasn't as bad as what they predicted it to be. Right? It didn't get as bad, but I'm glad we were prepared just in case. Now my truck's still frozen. My old Ford F and Ranger has not been cranked up, however you want to say it, since Thursday or Friday morning, and it's sitting out there it's froze solid. Um, and I didn't plan on going nowhere. I know Clint was up there. You hibernating, bury you. That's what I was doing, dude. Listen, I needed a mental break. We all need a mental break every once in a while. That's what I did. I took a mental break. I didn't think about the show, the channels, hardly anything at all. I said, you know what? Just I'm going to have a snow weekend. Uh, and watched a lot of TV. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Tyler said we got the generator going and power only went out for 3 hours. We were lucky compared to Nashville, even Helen. Yeah, I think White County and Rabun County in Georgia got the brunt of it as far as the power outages, and there were some sporadic ones. Thank goodness we had people like Jonathan Farmer and them ready to go in case we needed it. They did a fantastic job. The real question is, how is Farmer? Right there for sure. Tim Wyatt. I sat home and pouted. Felt like there was something I was supposed to be doing. I was totally lost. And Tim and I fish in the same club. So yeah, we could have fished. We could have fished. But I get it both ways. It's one of those things, if I'd have got on out of the water, the storm would have hit. That's just the way it works for me. But yeah, so like Saturday was, and let me tell you something too, guys. Now, when I was younger, I enjoyed basketball. I liked playing it. I liked watching it. I came up through the Jordan era, the Bird Magic Jordan era, and round about 2003, 2004, for some reason, whatever, I just stopped watching it. Now, I always watched the NCAA tournament, but I don't watch any basketball now. Just for some reason, just don't like it anymore. And man, that is all that was on was basketball. And that's miserable when you don't like a sport and that's all that's on. And I'm a sports fan and I tried watching some NBA, just can't do it anymore. Um, Jeff, we got 6 to 7 inches of sleet at home. Devastating ice storm at Pickwick on the Tennessee Mississippi, and no power since 2:16 Sunday morning. Lots of people stranded, can't get out. See, now there are some places out there that really absolutely got hammered. We're sitting here feeling fortunate that we got a cold rain, or I think here we got the yard was covered in sleet. We got more sleet than freezing rain, which I think kind of helped the situation. But we got some freezing rain, and the big winds they were talking about, we never really got them, or I didn't notice them from the comfort of my couch. But what was funny is um, yesterday morning, because everything that was there really froze good and solid yesterday morning. Well, I let my dogs out, them damn yapping dogs you guys hear every once in a while. I let them out the back door, and they go out flying. Well, this morning I got a white one named Murphy. Murphy hit that first step at about, I don't know, 110 mile an hour, and he shot like a freaking cannonball across the yard and everything. Because my backyard is kind of shaded, so it's got a lot of sleep. But them steps were packed down, and you'd think that he would have figured it out by now, but no, he hit that thing running, and he just went over and over and over into the backyard, and I thought it was pretty damn funny myself. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. But yeah, guys like Jeff out there where they're at, in my lifetime, I've never seen 6 to 7 inches of sleet. I've seen it snow. I've never seen that much sleet. I can't even imagine it. We'll keep all you guys in our thoughts for sure, but, yeah, they were north of us really got hit hard, and so what do you guys think? And I know we're gonna get a bunch of comments on this and different opinions, but about the meteorologists. Now they're sitting back and they're reading computer models, okay? They're forecasting it, and to me, it's almost like fishing. You can have the best laid plan, go out and just skunk, right? You think you know what the fish are gonna do, what they're gonna bite, and you go out there and they do nothing. And bless, I kinda actually felt sorry for them because had they told us it ain't gonna do anything, and we had gotten what Jeff and them had gotten out there, people would be wanting to string them up. They got us a little over prepared, and people want to string them up. There's no winning with it being a meteorologist. And heaven forbid you're one of these that do it as a hobby and you follow it on, you follow your favorite hobby meteorologist on social media. There's a couple of them that did really good, and there's some of them that just absolutely blew it out of the water. It was terrible, their predictions. But what do you think? I mean, what's your opinion on the meteorologist? Would you rather them overhype it and it not happen, or underhype it and you know what I'm saying? Um, Cam said Saturday was his birthday. We rode the bikes to the watering hole, got caught in sleet on the way home. Haven't always made the smartest decisions in life. And when he said, yeah, he's on his motorcycle. Sleet and motorcycle can't feel good. Patricia says, yeah, we do got the dual threat and the open this weekend. Tackle Warehouse next weekend. We're getting ready to start getting really busy with professional tournaments for sure. Now, what do you guys think also too? And we can talk about this. I didn't plan on it. You know, a lot of people have come out with the dual threat and they're really dogging it. They're really dogging it, saying it wasn't um, run well, whatever. Now, I've talked to a couple anglers that fished in it and they enjoyed it. But out on social media, they're getting just ripped. And I don't know that it's all justified. Again, I don't dive too deep into it. Maybe I should. Um, you've heard stories about not cashing the checks and everything like that. Well, there were reasons behind it. But when somebody gets out there and they make a social media post on it, and then it just goes, it runs, right? Um, it's just, what do you guys think about what you're hearing about the dual threats? The anglers, to me, that I've talked to, really liked it, and they love the team atmosphere. They love having just two guys in a boat. Let's just go, may the best team win. And so that was pretty cool. I thought, at least, and from the opinions of the anglers I got, they seem to think it's really great. And so until I'm told different, I think it's great. But that's not the way social media works now, is it? We might not get power back at my lake house for several weeks. Could you know? I mean, could you imagine? 2 years ago, we had some thunderstorms come through and a couple of tornadoes rolled through this area and a lot of damage to power lines and all. Now it was in the middle of summer, so it was like high was in the upper 90s. It was miserable. But I didn't have power at the house, and I stayed here at the house with the dogs for 96 hours. Had the generator, ran the freezer and refrigerator, but I don't have a big generator, so the only other thing I had was a small fan. Where I live, you get 0 cell service if the towers are down and everything. I cannot imagine, especially in the cold, to go without power for a couple weeks. That is absolutely awful. I know Farmer was glad. Um, Nathan said, "I bought a cheap park trail fly rod to get into fly fishing. It's not a bad combo." Well, get into it and let us know what you think about that. I'm gonna see if I can find me on. For some reason, I'm not popping up on TikTok, so I can't see if you guys are listening on TikTok or watching on TikTok. I can't see you. There we go. I finally found myself. So click to watch live. I'm gonna watch myself live. Hopefully, if you guys are commenting, I'll be able to see it now. Yeah, there you go. Now let's see. My truck is still in the yard, away from the trees. I played the PlayStation most of the weekend. I don't do video games. Maybe I should. We do have one video game in the house. Now, it shows my age, right? Right here. I'm gonna show you my age, guys, because my son had the Xboxes and all that stuff. And they've all moved out since the kids have moved out and gone on. Um, but I've got the old. It's just one of them things you could buy at Walmart. It's a joystick and a couple buttons that have a couple of the old Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, uh, pole position. Now, I can play the hell out of some pole position. Those old school video games. I should have popped that out. I might have had a better time if I'd have done that. Uh, let's see. Played ball and watched the Pistons and went to tons of games. I do not watch ball anymore. Yeah, I don't either. Debating on going back to Helen next weekend to get some trout. I'm like you in the way that if I don't go, it will be clear. But if I do go, it'll probably be rough. That's just the way it is. Kent says he's got a comment on college football. It's just not college football, but they're destroying it now. At the end of the day, I'm just going to be honest. Here's my take on college football. I think the kids should get paid something because people were making money off of them. To the extent of what it is, maybe not so. However, at the end of the day, all I want to do is be entertained, right? To me, it's entertainment. Same as a baseball game, same as football, same as fishing, right? When we watch bass fishing, we're wanting to be entertained. I really don't care what they get paid. I do understand the purist part of it, saying that you wished, it was like the old school football days and all that, and kids jumping schools and everything. I mean, I coached a kid here. I'll keep his name out of it, but he's been on 6 different teams. Now he came up through COVID, so he got some um, extra playing time. But he hit that transfer portal like 5 or 6 times. But I just want to be entertained. So if it's good football, I don't care if the kids get paid. I know that ain't a lot of people don't feel that way, but that's just me. I keep it pretty simple. I do understand what you're saying though. Jeremiah goes, I knew it wasn't snowing. Once the forecast changed to rain, we got a lot of rain here. I've never seen 6 to 7 inches of sleet either. Or Coleman. Now I should not. I should have read that before I pulled up Coleman because he's being Coleman on that. I missed that one. You got me, dog, on that one, dude. Weatherman did a good job. I think the weatherman did pretty decent, not as bad as sometimes. Grocery stores laughing all the way to the bank with the meteorologist. They paid under the table to get the people to buy their stock up. Jeremiah, we ain't gonna have no snow conspiracy theories between the meteorologist and the grocery stores. Could it happen? I don't know. Could it? Shout out to Max Velocity for nailing the weekend for the weather this weekend. I don't follow Max Velocity. I'll check him out. The lumberjack fisherman. Appreciate you joining us today. How you doing? What you doing fishing wise when it warms back up? You think the fish are already full of eggs and will move up after that warm week, or will it take 3 weeks or of warm? Well, do they have eggs? Probably so. I still think here in the South we are quite a ways away from a spawn. Water temps just way too cold. We got water temps in the I would say upper 40s now, given this cold weather. Got to be some places in the 40s, lower 50s, upper 40s. I think we're going to have that for a while now since we are going to be extended cold. Again, always a fish that spawns early, but I don't think here we'll see it for another good grief. I think we're going to have to get into March. The way the weather is going right now. I know time of day has a lot to do with it, time of year. There's a lot of factors that go involved. We've had enough people on the show to talk about that, but I don't think we're anywhere near a spawn. Not for bass. Now, down in Florida, this cold weather might kick them back a little bit, but they're probably going to be spawning here within the next few weeks if it gets back to regular temps down there. Um, the grumpy fishermen, they're right about 50% of the time. But what we're doing fishing wise right now, wintertime patterns. If you're going only near, you're going to ditch fish, hit points. You're going to do your typical wintertime patterns, and I would imagine that would be for every lake in Georgia and the southeast right now. It'd be very curious to. I'll be very curious to see what they do on Gunnersville um, when the elites get there. If the cold weather happens, it's probably going to be a slugfest. Guys are going to catch them anyway. So everybody probably still be doing their regular, wintertime techniques. Let's see. Ron says they have to sell it a little bit to get people prepared. The Atlanta guys have to prepare for it because they caught so much hell for that snow that shut down Atlanta a few years ago. Right there, that is true. They have to. They see, that's what I'm saying. It's almost a damn if you do, damn if you don't type of job when it comes to being a meteorologist. But yeah, I remember that. People got caught out on the interstates and everything. Cars were stranded. I know we had to go pick up some people. I think that was the infamous Chipper Jones went and picked up Freddie Freeman thing, right? Wasn't that it? Or was that the one before? But regardless, yeah, they have to kind of. But you can tell they're gun shy a little bit too. They'll talk about it because now with social media, you get all these people putting it out there 2 weeks ahead of time. So they're gun shy, but they're having to kind of compete with that a little bit, saying, yes, some of the models are showing X, but I thought they did a pretty good job saying, hey, look, 5 to 7 days before, this is what we're kind of looking for trends, right? And then 5 to 3 days in, and then within 72 hours, now they're predicting it. So it's kind of tough. Tracy Coker says the meteorologist can only do what they can do with what they have. While they can get close, it's a 50-50 chance of getting something right. They can't predict what God wants to do. 100%. Matt Bryson on TikTok. Unpopular opinion. If you ain't fishing in this cold, you're missing out on some of the best fishing. No, Matt Bryson, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion at all. I think that's very popular opinion, at least around Lake Lanier and stuff. Guys will tell you, and we talk about it all the time, the biggest sacks of the year are caught in the wintertime around here. It's uncomfortable for us, right? But no, 100%, that's not it may be unpopular, but it is correct. The fish are chomping, and they're very predictable most of the time. Um, Jeff says our county at my lake house in the neighboring county reported 100% power outages on Sunday. 100% of the customers in his area was out of power. That's incredible. Yeah, big ones too are biting this time of year. Here's a good question. Tyler said, why do people buy so much toilet paper for snowstorms? How much are you going number two? And do you think you'll be stuck for a month? Same thing about milk and bread, right? But the toilet paper, let's just say I had to help clean up a house and the person hoarded toilet paper, like had a closet full of toilet paper. And I thought to myself, I mean, if you're an outdoorsman, if you're a deer hunter, and you guys know it, we may not like to admit it, but every one of us that has been in the woods have had it happen in a little bit of emergency, and we've had to use leaves. I mean, we've had to do what we've had to do, cut off socks. I don't know how many pairs of socks I've had to cut the top off because I wasn't prepared, didn't have no TP. Tyler says dual thread is a great concept and will only get better. I think so too. I absolutely think dual thread is pretty cool. Um, because you get to see if they do it right and they ever get some television coverage, right? If we get to see the interaction between the anglers and how they team up, how they prepare, how they work together, that will be a very interesting thing for me to watch personally. Um, I know I've fished with partners throughout the years, and I've always kind of set back and I try to. This is just me again. I'm not fishing a dual thread or anything like that. But let's say when I would fish with Ryan, Ryan's a power guy. I'm more of a finesse guy. But I tried to figure out ways to allow him, especially in situations where power fishing was what needed to be done. And I tried to work because he goes fast. Farmer goes fast. Them guys are on their trolling motor at 8 to 10 all the time. And so, and especially if I'm like skipping a weightless wacky into the dock, having to make casts at certain angles, you learn that just by fishing with guys and figure out how to do it. And that's what I always thought was fun uh, when I did that. It's to me, it's very cool to see how guys work. I saw was it Will Harkins and them put it out on Facebook. One of them landed a big one, and they were fist bumping and everything. Um, to see the network, and when I say network, I'm talking about the actual net. Watching the way guys approach it, it's interesting to me. Um, let's see. I missed a couple of them comments. Let me try to catch it. What's up, Sal Pinto? How you doing? Robert on Facebook. 8 to 14 inches with top covered in sleet. Today is cold. Another storm brewing Thursday into the weekend. Not much traffic happening. Closure since Sunday. Susquehanna frozen and not safe to fish. Wow. That's you're up in the Carolinas. So yeah, that's that's crazy. Think about that. Now, a lot of you younger guys may not have been there, but I remember the blizzard of 93. And we had that snow come in and then the ice on top of it, or it seemed like it just froze. It stayed on the ground for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. That's the one around here that I really remember being kind of like, and we didn't have power. We lost power. I lived on 141, just on the Fulton County for South County line at the time. We didn't have power. We had a gas stove. That's the way we heated. We just turned the stove on and turned it up and had to sit there and hunker down by the stove until we could get out and go to work. I remember that. But I will tell you this, that next day went out because I was living next to a cow farm at the time. The sledding was epic. Absolutely. Um, oh, Pennsylvania. That's right. Northern Yankee. I was thinking Carolina. Now, so my daughter lives in Virginia, just across the North Carolina border, and she said they lost power. The whole town lost power when it first started. They got it back on, so I don't know why they lost power. And then she's been able to keep it since. But they basically, because she's a college professor, they called off. They sent the kids home and called off everything for this week. So definitely getting it. What you got going on up there? Only 53 days of winter left. Hey, did y'all see that thing about PETA? You know, people for the ethical treatment of animals. I saw it on Facebook. They're proposing to take the groundhog because they don't, for some reason, that groundhog who probably lives better than I do, is being, it's not being well took care of. It's not right that we make the groundhog come out and tell us if it sees a shadow. That they've proposed to have an artificial 3D hologram, whatever version of the groundhog to tell us if there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. This is what people get paid to think about. So when you're out there working your real job, understand that there's slack people like me that sit around and all I got to do is pay to get talk to talk. But there's also people thinking we could create a hologram version of a groundhog and we could free all the groundhogs across America, especially the two or that one that's really popular that the entire nation watches, Susquehanna. I think whatever it's ain't it up that way where you're at, Robert? Ain't that whatever that groundhog is? I know we got one down here in Atlanta, but somebody got paid to come up with that idea, and then somebody said, "Yeah, let's run with it," and that's what they're proposing out there. I mean, who decides what the hologram groundhog thinks? Just kind of everybody wants to just take away traditions. Lanier's probably in the middle 40s right now. Robert says up there in PA, they're getting used to, we're used to it up here, but the older I get, the more I travel south. I don't blame you. Brandon on Facebook, appreciate you joining us today. Just got back from Seminole this weekend. Them bass were ready to pop. There you go. Appreciate that. Yeah, I bet they were down there, and that's great. I need to get Drew Cook on. He's from down that way. I was going to reach out to Drew this week anyway. I need to. Hogan says ready to get back to fishing this weekend. It isn't going to be fun. It's going to be cold as hell. And it's going to be. You think this weekend was cold? This coming up weekend is going to be really, really cold. Saturday, Clayton said the water temp on Lanier was he saw 47 degrees. Doug says, "Oh yeah, you guys. I don't know if you saw it on. If you follow G4 Outdoors on Facebook, you should. That's Doug, and G4 standing for 4 generations. Pretty cool little thing he's got going there. But he's got a shop, and his Phoenix bass boat was in there, and he had some limbs come through. And it made it was Fox 5 or 11 Alive or one of the news stations picked up his picture. And everybody was like, I'm glad the boat made it. And the boat did make it. But yeah, he got some stuff there. Max Wilson, I caught 10 spots last November for the freezer. Yes, I love eating them. Of the 10, he didn't put the number down. Some of them were full of eggs, or either all 10 were full of eggs. Spotted bass make a mean taco. People should eat more spotted bass. I know a lot of people will not. They'll get their panties in the wad. But if you're going to eat a bass, eat spotted bass. They are very good. What's up, Mike Geiger? Danny, those 5 locations you went fly fishing in Georgia, the only locations in the state that have the regulations on fly only catch and release. Okay, so what you're talking about there, Cam, you're talking about the delayed harvest streams in Georgia. There are 5. You have the Amicalola Creek right up here above my house. You have a portion of the Toccoa River going into Lake Blue Ridge. You have Smith Creek up in Helen. You have the Chattooga up there, Rayburn County, South Carolina border, and you got a section down there of the Chattahoochee River. And those are the 5 that I know of that are delayed harvest, meaning single hook. Even if you're throwing like a rooster tail or something like that, you got to have a single hook rooster tail. You still can throw rooster tails on it, but it's got to be single hook, no artificial bait. You cannot use stuff like Berkeley or anything that has scent or anything built into it. They consider that against the rules and everything. But yeah, they're pretty cool if you get into that. But I tell you what, cold, you're going to get in that water right now. Actually, the water would be warmer than the air temp, so you might actually be warmer in the water. But yeah, but it is catch and release, and that will go until May 14th, I believe. Normally it's November 1st or something like that to May 14th, and they keep them regularly stocked. Nathan wants to know, is this sleet that fell on the lake going to change patterns up? I don't think the sleet has anything to do with it. I think water temp might change it a little bit if your water temps are dropping, but I don't think sleet, rain, or anything like that will change up patterns. That's total guess, but I don't think they will. Uh, okay, okay, you guys are helping him out there with that. Lumpkin County did a good job with the roads. They did. Everybody did. They even had salt down here on mine. Now I meant to ask you that. I meant to ask you this, guys. What's up, Alex? Um, Snow days are the perfect days to make baits and tie flies. Or yeah, did you see this? Gussie came down. I don't know if he's still down here. Gussie, Jeff Gustafson came down here to fish Lanier. He loves Lake Lanier. We had him on the show one time. He absolutely loves Lake Lanier, but he was trying to back his boat down at Van's Tavern. Yeah, he almost got stuck. He did. And that brand new Lund of his, uh, I would have laughed that he got stuck, but I know Jeff. So uh, he is, he's a good dude. He is a really good dude. I hope he gets back on top. Let me try to. I support the hologram groundhog. I say as ate a hologram cheeseburger, 100%. Let me see if I can catch up on this. Ryan 55 Sonar Pros has my boat for a while. Will be worth the wait though. 100% best out there. Best out there. I've been over there at the shop while he was working. Um, and Justin Kimmel was over there last time I went over. I was talking to him and Trent and everything. And to watch them work, it's pretty funny because like Trent and the guys are talking to you know that while they're working and everything. But if you sit back and just watch the work, you know how you can tell people know what the hell they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can pull wires to a boat. Um, it's something to watch them do the work. Sonar Pros is legit. I mean, listen, if pros are taking their boats there, you know it's legit. Number one, because their livelihood depends on it. But if you ever get a chance just to sit and watch them, it's very, very impressive. Let's see. -8 will be the real feel Saturday night. I also got a John boat recently for myself with a Minn Kota Ultrex ready to start fishing more tournaments. Hogan, get out there with us. Get out there with us too. I need to get on the water as well. Puxatawny, that's it. Phil won't be the same. It won't be the same without a real groundhog. The groundhog is cared for more than those in the wild. That's what I'm saying, 100%. That thing lives better than me, just like Ugga. People fuss about the mascots and all that. Ugga, that dog ain't hurting for nothing. I mean, that dog ain't hurting for nothing. I heard the dual threat. We're told not to cash their checks. Listen, Patricia, there's a lot more to that than the money's there. There are reasons. From what I've been explained, There are some reasons that are more like, uh, I don't know if it's 1099s or some tax stuff. There's other things. It has nothing to do with, hey, don't cash it. We're waiting for our check to go in the bank. From what I've been told, again, I'm not part of it, but from what I've been told, that was the reason why. Um, Cash showed a lot of their work, and it is clean. Gussie came in second to Scott Barnes. They came down here fishing the Scott Barnes tournament. And they'll do that. And you'll see Jordan Lee and some from time to time jump in with guys like Kaz Anderson and all that. They'll jump in there and fish that tournament. Now, you guys we can keep on this conversation. And I want to. I like it. But I want to know what you guys did, because I did something that I don't normally do. I am not a binge watching TV guy. My wife and my daughters, they do that. They'll get a thing and they'll binge watch it, get together, all lay in the bed and binge watch an entire season of something. I don't do that. In fact, there's only been one show ever, and it was some show out of Australia that was only had one season on Netflix. My Netflix screen name, my kids did it, it's Old Fart. So I pulled up the Netflix because all it was on was basketball. And I went back, and you guys remember the TV show The Blacklist. Now, when The Blacklist came out, I didn't watch it because I don't watch a lot of TV. If I'm watching TV, it's the news, the weather, or it's a football or baseball game. Or occasionally I might watch cricket out of India, but I have no idea what the hell the rules are, but I'll watch it anyway just because I'm like, I could hit that ball with that paddle. I don't even know what the rules are. When the guy, I mean, seriously, I ain't got zero clue what the rules are. And I'm watching it thinking, like, I could do that. The 18-year-old me still like, I could do that. But anyway, I pulled up Netflix, and like sometimes the movies are good. We watched RIP, RIP, whatever that is, the RIP with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. That actually was a good movie. I don't watch a lot of movies, but I saw The Blacklist, and I'm like, you know what? Let's watch it. Guys, I'm like 17 episodes in now, and I'm hooked. Like, seriously hooked. And my wife goes, "You're binge watching TV." And I'm like, "No, I know. I can't believe it." Danny, who always fusses about it, I am stuck on The Blacklist. And it came out what? It's been out a while. Can't believe I missed it. User 584916. I'm in class, so I can't hear you right now. But I was wondering wondering about you this morning. Where you been? I'm here. Go back and listen to it. Just I don't know how to answer you if you can't hear me. He's just sitting there looking at me. But we ain't going nowhere. I got a Bass Tracker 17-foot. Need to just get the batteries wired up and check out some things. $800. That's the thing about electric only fishing. You can get into it relatively cheap. Doug, I just finished the Blacklist. It's awesome. I'm stuck on it, dude. I just found out last night that she finally figured out her husband's a spy or whatever he is. But you know that character, old Reddington or whatever the hell his name is. You guys ever watch something and just sit back like, like, man, I bet that'd be cool to be him. Kind of like when you watch like the movie Troy, like Achilles, like Brad Pitt. I'm not a big Brad Pitt. Well, I mean, he's all right. But like, I wish I was a badass like Achilles is in that movie. You watch Gladiator. I'd love to be. I'm Maximus Aurelius. I mean, that we guys like we like that stuff. But this Reddington cat's like, and I'm just getting into it. And he's crooked as hell. Been crooked as hell his entire life. Got into all kinds of stuff. But I'm saying like, man, I might can handle that. I don't know about getting hell beat out of me and shot at all the time, and the whole entire world wanting a piece of me. But I'm thinking like, I just wonder. I just wonder what it would be like. What it would be like to be him. Um, let's see. UFC on Paramount was a banger. Another one this Saturday. I listen. I'm going to show my age too with this. I ain't a big UFC guy. I grew up watching boxing. I grew up watching on Saturdays the wide, wide world of sports, where you had Sugar Ray Leonard and Howard the Hitman Hearns and I don't know those guys, Hagler, those guys back in the box. That's what my dad, my grandfather watched. I watched boxing when Tyson and Holyfield, those big pay-per-views and all that coming up. I watched that. I love boxing. I can't get into the kicking. I tried to watch it. I really do. I've tried it. My son loves it. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. This I ain't saying this to be sexist at all. But like, I can't dig the chicks beating the hell out of each other either. I try to watch it. I can't dig it. Now, if they were, in a bunch of mud, that might be a little bit different rolling around. But like, just when you see a woman look like she just absolutely got just like the front end of a truck hit her, like, I don't know, guys. I just can't get into it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people love it. And if that's you, that's you. I would just rather watch, I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather watch 200-pound Hispanics pop, 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 throw like 1,800 punches in a round than I would watching some guys kick each other. That's just me. Howard Cosell, 100%. The wide, wide world of sports. That's all we had. And then, like, wrestling was different back then. We had to watch Southern wrestling. Tommy Wildfire Rich, Mr. Wrestling number one, number two, the superstar. The only reason you watched it because you wanted to see if anybody got their mask pulled off so that their true identity could be revealed. Dusty Rhodes out there screaming, hooping, and hollering. That was the wrestling I grew up on. This stuff they got out now, I can't get into it. Same thing, like I said, I'm showing my age, right? Those chicks are built different. They'd have us washing dishes and cooking. Yeah, they would. I didn't say they weren't bad. Um, Nathan's got a serious fishing question, so we might as well pop that on here. What's y'all's best recommendations on a good fly rod? Should I buy a combo or should I pair a rod and a reel up? What brand are y'all's faves? If you want, we talked about this the other day. Orvis Clearwater. If you want to get in for cheap and you want to not a high end, but a really good company, good brand, the Orvis Clearwater combo will run you about $350. Comes with line, leader, everything. Cortland has a couple good ones for right under $200. They're good. I've got both of them. The one that I used on the TV show was the Orvis Clearwater, though. I used it a lot. That's the one that listen, and it's a 6 weight, and that's the one I hossed in that big old that king salmon up there in the river up in Michigan. It was sporty. It was sporty, but it was fun. It's a good one if you want to spend that kind of money. But you just bought one like a starter kind of one. Listen, use it till you get the actual casting right before you go spend the money on a higher end or move up. Learn the casting because it doesn't matter how good of a rod or reel you got when it comes to the fly thing. If you throw it like garbage, it's going to treat you like garbage. In the story, that's just the way it is. Yeah, it would be cool to be Brad Pitt. I think so. I enjoy you. Okay, fishing information. Oh, fishing in Forgotonia. I guess I'm reading that right. But anyway, appreciate you joining us. I enjoy UFC and boxing. The people who own UFC just started their own boxing league. It's on Sundays. I'll check that out. I didn't know that. Now, Dana White, listen, I think he's a cool dude. When Dana White puts out videos and stuff about business and all that, I will watch them. I did not know that. I can't get into the kicking and the rolling around on the ground. And plus, I'd get my ass kicked if I tried either one of them for sure. I remember the old tough man contests that were local. My brother got second place, had 7 fights in 3 nights to get there. Ugh. I couldn't even imagine trying that. I got a buddy at church. He's gotten into jiu-jitsu. Now, Cam, that's his name, Cam. He's in his 30s. He's lost a lot of weight, and but he was tough to begin with. And but he loves it. He loves it. Man, I've seen this dude in the UFC get knocked out with a punch and then woke back up with a second, only to get knocked out again with a third. It's rough. There's no doubt. Now Robert's showing his age too, because I did this too. My youth, I watched the Three Stooges with my dad. I watched the Three Stooges. I can remember watching the Carol Burnett show. My dad had to watch MASH every time it came on. Sanford and Son. Good grief. My wife, I came in here the other day and she's got some old station on. She's watching Leave It to Beaver. And I'm sitting there like, and I got to watching it with, I sat down for a second and I'm like, TV is a lot better now. It is a lot better, but yeah, I know that. War Eagle the best. Let's not promote women emancipation in sport and in bass fishing specifically. I can't do that. Now listen, women got every right. If that's what you're saying, if they want to get out there and beat the hell out of each other, let them get out there and do it. It's just not something I want to watch. Uh, But at bass fishing, like, you're a brave man if you're gonna say that in this day and age. Brave man. I got daughters, I can't say that, good lord. They would absolutely, well, my oldest, the professor, she would absolutely get on to me. Rawhide for sure. I was watching Tyson highlights at home this weekend, and Marvin, Frazier got knocked out so hard the TV moved. Listen, there are people in this world that scare you, and there are people in this world that you should be scared of. Prime Mike Tyson. Prime Mike Tyson. I wouldn't hit him with my truck. If I was driving 60 miles down the road right at him, I wouldn't hit him in my truck. I would still be scared of Mike Tyson. And in fact, oh man, I couldn't imagine when he was in prison being in his cell with him. He's a bad, bad man. Still is, but he was a bad, bad man. That's the one person in this world I'd be like, nope, go ahead. I'm gonna I'm gonna end it before he ever gets to me. Early MASH was good, but they ruined that show. It was just one of them shows my dad watched. A lot of you guys grew up with a dad like mine. I see we watched the Braves every night on the Superstation, Channel 17, and they always had a sitcom come on before. There was a Carol Burnett show or Sanford and Son. You had to watch that to get to the Braves game, and we always did that. And then on Sunday mornings, back before my dad started taking us all to church and going to church, we watched Channel 17. They always had a war movie on Sunday mornings. He would sleep in on Sunday mornings. Mama would make breakfast and everything, and we would watch something like Patton or the Battle of Midway, or it would be a western, something like some spaghetti western or something like that. Always had to watch the cowboy movies and the war movies, specifically Patton. I bet I've watched the movie Patton 2,000 times in my life. Radar and Klinger are my faves. Listen at you guys. Yeah, Radar was like the God, there's certain words I don't want to use. But you guys, if you know Match, you know Radar was running around dressing like a woman trying to get out, and they wouldn't let him out back in the day. He started that movement early. Anyway, anyway, the Lone Ranger. Yeah, I mean, I watched the Lone Ranger. Somebody put out one. It was Bigfoot and Wild Boy. It was. I saw it on Facebook. You guys remember that show? We watched a lot of like some. I mean, they were coming out with all kinds of stuff back in the day. But Bigfoot and Wild Boy. How many of you guys remember that? I vaguely remember it. I do know on Friday nights growing up, my dad was a grocery store manager, so he always closed on Friday nights. So we would go shopping and then we'd get home and I'd watch the Dukes of Hazzard. My mom would watch Dallas right afterwards. That was a Friday night. Um, that was Klinger. Yeah, he tried so hard to get out of there. And now it would be accepted, right? Now that'd be a little bit different. He was doing it to get out. Now they'll do it to get in. It was a different world back then. But yeah, I had to watch this show called Clint. He said, I had to watch this show called The Beauty with my girlfriend, and it was probably the worst show I have ever seen. I'm glad you told me because I'm not going to watch it. My wife and my girls all love to watch the British baking show. Have you guys had to sit down and go through an episode of the British baking show? It is you know, you got the judges and they give them these cooking challenges and all. And I mean, how many different ways can you watch somebody make a croissant? Or you know, and a biscuit in England is not a biscuit like here, it's a damn cookie with truffles and sauce and plumberry, elderberry preserves, and I'm like, I wouldn't eat that shit, but they watch it over and over and over again. How many different ways can you watch somebody make a cake? Watch 2 episodes and made her change it to something else. I don't blame you, dude. You gotta stand up for yourself certain times. MASH and Little House on the Prairie are 2 of the best shows ever. We'll agree to disagree on that. Jeff Brazil, same here, Danny. Dukes first, and my folks watched Dallas afterwards. Who shot JR, right? And I'm like, I mean, listen, I was that was Roswell, 4th grade, 5th grade back in the day and all that. You know, and everybody was in love with old Daisy Duke, and everybody thought it was cool and everything. But I watched that, and then we would go do whatever so Mama could watch Dallas. Radar had a high content of sugar in his blood for sure. He did. I used to watch the Dukes of Hazzard on CMT when I was little. Um, Klinger, yeah, yeah. I guess that was Klinger. It was Klinger. Listen, I remember sitting at my house. I can remember day one of MTV. That's how old I am. You young boys, you guys don't even know MTV that played music. I remember MTV starting. I remember the VJs is what they called them, video jockeys and all that. I remember Headbangers Ball when it came out. I remember having, if you wanted, listen, you couldn't download MP3s. You had to go, this was high technology back in the day. You had to go buy you a cassette recorder, right? And you had to go buy a blank tape. And if you wanted to catch your song, you had to listen on the radio with record and everything, getting ready. You had to listen. And then you always missed the first couple seconds of your favorite song because you had to press it. You had to be there. You had to be ready if you wanted to pirate music back in the day. That's how we did it. Blank little cassettes. And we had to pirate that crap, and we were always late. And then they always would cut the song off early, and the disc jockey would come back on. Well, guys, welcome back to 96 Rock. Blah, 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 blah. It was a different world. Women love watching HGTV too. They just need to take the whole channel off the air. Don't nobody give a damn about these people in their house hunt. And it's like, listen, yeah, my wife does make fun of that a little bit because we got a school teacher and a woman that works she works as a cashier for PetSmart. Their budget on their house, $2.8 million. Let's see what we can find. And I'm like, hell, all those stuff. So the Blue Man Group. Abby likes okay, Coleman says Abby likes watching those British Victorian era shows. I just watch YouTube on my phone and support her choice. Smart move. Definitely a smart relationship move that you're doing right there. My wife sends me reels. If she's not watching a British baking show, she's doing okay. Here's what my wife watches. She's either watching a British baking show, she's watching all those murder for like 2020 and all that, how to get away with the woman's she's plotting. How they get away with crimes and everything, she's plotting. We all know that. She listens to those crime junkie podcasts and everything, she's plotting. Or she's sending me reels, and they're the dumbest reels in the history of the world. And I love her. God, I love her, but it's all about how she's feeling that day, right? If she's feeling a certain way, I'm going to get 22 reels that day about how she's feeling that day. That or how to install, and I got to do it. Like she's got all them big ass daggum, Stanley cooler cups. She got so many of them now that I actually have to go install this pull out rack thing in our cabinet for her Stanley coolers or those big ass, water things that they drink. Can't do the regular one, but you know what I'm saying? You guys all know. You know what I'm talking about. I actually have to go do this little pull out thing so that she can actually get them all in there and it slides out and she can pick the Stanley of her choice for the day. Ah, my God. HGTV is the devil. My wife thinks she can build anything in 30 minutes. No doubt. Was watching WKRP in Cincinnati last night on YouTube. Oh, turkey drop. Now, what was the blonde on WKRP in Cincinnati? We all were in love with her. You guys know what we were. Lonnie Anderson. Whew. Yeah. Mine just sends me reels about how much she loves me. Well, Clint, that'll change. You got to get on in that relationship a little bit. Robert says, I can remember going home early from elementary school because 3 Mile Island meltdown was happening. Damn, that's right. You was close. Was like COVID happened. Everyone left or stayed indoors. I was 20 miles away from it. Hey, I was in a classroom when the space shuttle blew up. I remember that. I think it was a space shuttle. It was different world back then. It was just different. Um, Man, 3 Mile Island. That's crazy. And freaking wiener dogs. Yeah. Doc's you have an ophthalmologist appointment. Well, dude, I don't know what the hell that is, but have a good day. Charles Nolan, you still want to go fish and film here on Gant Lake? Dude, sometime listen, because a lot of things changed, with the business and everything. Let's see if we can work that out. What the hell's an ophthalmologist? It feels like I should know what that is. My wife does not watch how to fix it shows and all that because she knows with my ADHD that it's going to be 2.2 years before I get to it. Kind of like sending out the prizes on the live well. I try, guys. Just my brain don't work all the time. Uh, Clint was 180 miles offshore in Venice, Louisiana when COVID hit the news. Had you into Bandit. Oh, eye doctor. See, I just call it eye doctor. I got an eye appointment. I ain't the brightest bulb in the pack, guys. But hey, listen, you guys saw it. If you didn't pay attention, I took an IQ test over the thing, and I scored 136. So I'm very good on some things, and other things I'm like terrible on. Now, if you want to show me a ton of patterns and tell me which pattern fits and reckon like they did in that test and everything, I got you. I got you. But if you want to ask me what this is, about, huh? What? Um, Robert said he was imitating. Oh my lord! I was imitating Elvis Presley to the neighbors on our front porch when my dad called me in to tell me that he died. Dude, you're old. You are old. Um, Bottom line, outdoors. Will the two cold fronts push back the spawn in Georgia? Eh, I don't think we're anywhere near the. I mean, we're talking two cold fronts in January. I don't think so. Now, if we stay cold for the next 2.5 months in a deep freeze, yeah, maybe. But I don't think two cold fronts. Now, I'm talking North Georgia, South Georgia, different ballgame. North Georgia, I really don't think it has much to. I really don't think two cold fronts in January is going to do much to kick the spawn back because those fish are still they're chomping away, eating like crazy. They're still fattening up. Um, and a killer pool tournament going on too. I don't, pool. I suck at pool, so I don't watch it. I love playing ping pong, especially back when I drank, but I don't drink no more, and I don't have a chance to play ping pong anymore. Um, I wish you young guys though could have grown up in the '80s. I wish you young guys could have. Number one, the best thing about the '80s, the best other than the music was much better. But the second best thing about the '80s were no cell phones, no phones, no phones, no evidence, no evidence, no charges, no charges, clean slate. I wonder what the youth think old is now. Me, I'm in the 50s. Um, like if I say something hip, my kids look at me like, "Dad, why are you saying that?" Like I said the other night, I said something. I forget what it was. I go, "You guys tracking?" You'd have thought, you'd have thought an alien or something showed up in our house. All my kids looked at me and went, like, "Dad, you don't get to say that stuff." Or what is that they say for BS now? Ah, I didn't even know what it meant. Mike said it's too early in North Georgia for cold fronts to have an effect. Now, if it was March or April, yeah, it'd have a major effect. That's what I was going with. So Robert said he's 58 going on 30. Dude, I'm 53 going on 18, and it gets me in a lot of trouble. The 80s were awesome. I just wish kids could understand it. It's just different. Bass ain't going to spawn until it hits 65 degrees, says Patricia. Danny, the 60s and 70s were the best. I, I, I would say this. Oh, happy birthday to my mom too. Today's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to my mom. I don't think she'll be watching this, but happy birthday to her. The woman that brought this to you. Uh 60s and 70s started getting good. 80s were the highlight, and it's just gone to shit since. But they were all capping. That's it. I said no caps to my kids too, and they went, "Dad, no." Of course, the first time I would go, "Hey guys, LOL." I mean, I'm like totally uncool when it comes to stuff like that. Totally uncool. Nostalgia died after the '90s. I get it. I get it. I had heart surgery at 25. I'm right there with you, Coleman. Yeah, Clint did. You guys didn't know that about Clint. You should. Um, 25 is considered. I've already had is old now. I've already had reconstructive surgery. You guys don't know. You guys ain't got a clue. The youth don't know the difference between a girl and a boy dog. That's kind of true. I think they do. I think they just don't want to. Mike Geiger, 65, going on 20. That's me. Charles Nolan. He said, I found 3 beds Saturday down here. Now, you're in Alabama. Is it South Alabama? I can see that in South Alabama. Um, John G is 63 going on 63, and he looks every bit of it. I'm just playing, John. I love you, dude. I'm just playing 100%. All right, guys. So look, we're gone an hour. I'm glad to be back. You guys, like, if you don't ride a horse for a while, you got to get back on it, right? Um, and Clint, you should. He says, I feel better at 27 than I did at 21. Clint, I started my push ups and everything again this morning, and I started eating. I got back on track because I did eat about 30,000 calories over the course of 3 days. Like, I don't think I've shit right in the last 3 days. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Um, but anyway, listen, hey, join. It's good to be back. I enjoy talking with you guys. It's part of the day that I love. Just it makes the middle of my day go just like you guys. Danny, you and I were born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, survived the 90s, we're thriving in the 2000s. I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, yesterday was Eddie Van Halen's birthday, though. I'd change that. I'd bring Eddie back. I'd bring Eddie back. That'd be about the only thing I'd change. Eddie Van Halen at 71 would be better than all the musicians today, still. Great show, live well tonight. Guys, join us. John Cox, listen, this guy, he had to get a kidney transplant. He had to stop fishing the NPFL to get a kidney transplant. And now he's on the mend, coming back, getting back into competitive fishing. It's a hell of a story. Plus, he's a Georgia boy. He's from down Carrollton, Georgia. I think it's down around Carrollton. It's in Tony's neck of the woods. We're gonna pick his brain about his story and his sponsors and everything. Plus, get some tidbits. Some always trying to get the juice for you guys on how to catch some more fish. But it's a great story. I like getting. We need these inspiring stories in our lives every once in a while. Bill Payne is the greatest example to me in the fishing world of an inspirational character, and it's real life, dude. It's stage 4 pancreatic cancer, 11, 12 years ago, whatever, and he's still kicking ass. Guys like that, those stories inspire the hell out of me. And John Cox is going to be one that you're going to hear tonight about that. And then we're going to get Clay from Marine South. We're going to talk about boat maintenance, things that guys you should be doing that you're not doing. He's going to come in on the second half of the show. He is one of the sponsors of John, so we're going to bring him on too. So you can have your boat questions, you can have your fishing questions. You might get moved to tears tonight. Just listen to it. I don't know. I normally do during things like this because I can't imagine. I can't imagine. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be a great show. Uh, Prince would be a good one. Prince would be a good one to bring back. But anyway, you guys, hey, listen, come back tonight, 8 o'clock. We'll have a great show. And then I'll be here. Like, I'm going to be here tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And then we'll see what the weather's going to do. Bring back Kurt Cobain. I'm not a Nirvana fan. I'm sorry. Again, a little bit past my time, even though I did think Teen Spirit was a kick ass song. But guys, yeah, join us tonight. It's gonna be a great time. If you're out there working today and you're out in the cold and all that, do your best to stay warm, man. I'm feeling for you. I actually got to go outside and do a few things too while I'm here. Amanda had to go back to work today, and she did leave me a list. So it is what it is. But thank God it ain't an HGTV list. So appreciate all you guys watching. You guys on TikTok, and we'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock here, Facebook, and on TikTok. Now we're gonna do all three. So we will see you guys tonight.